Hello and welcome back to Deep Dives with SmartBookWorms. I'm Nathan, your virtual book guru host for today's show. Join me, Martina, Claire, Megan, Amanda, and Chris Stopher, my co-presenters and fellow virtual book gurus, as we dive deep into our personal book of the year for 2024 by authors you love to read. In today's episode, we'll be looking at the following 6 highly acclaimed books of the past 12 months, starting off with James by Percival Everett. Everett should be lauded for this daring and successful reimagining. James is a masterful and engaging work that should find a wide and hungry audience. We Solve Murders by Richard Osman. Solving the murders with Steve and Amy with Rosie thrown in for extra fun is high entertainment, not to mention a jolly good mystery. You Like It Darker by Stephen King. You Like It Darker is dark, but not in the overtly supernatural way you might expect. While there are definitely some otherworldly elements at play in this collection, most of the stories are deep explorations into the human condition and some dark souls that are in this world. One Perfect Couple by Ruth Ware. One Perfect Couple is Ruth Ware at her most cunning, and she does it all within the framework of an immensely popular form of entertainment that is wide open to this kind of speculation. By Any Other Name by Jodi Picoult. The ending of By Any Other Name by turns inspiring, tragic, hopeful, heartbreaking, and breathtakingly beautiful is one that will leave many readers with damp eyes. This Is Why We Lied by Karin Slaughter. Karin Slaughter's writing is like a house on fire and is so intricately plotted that I just could not turn the pages of this one quickly enough. So if you're sitting comfortably, we'll get things rolling with Amanda and her favorite book of the year.
Hi, Smart Bookworms. Amanda here, and I'm so excited to share my pick for 2024's Book of the Year, James by Percival Everett. This book is an absolute masterpiece, a reimagining of the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn that shifts the narrative to focus on Jim, the runaway slave who accompanies Huck on his journey. But in Everett's hands, Jim isn't just a side character, he becomes James, a fully realized, complex human being with thoughts, struggles, and dreams that leap off the page. James is intelligent, kind, and incredibly thoughtful, qualities he can only express freely when he's around other black people. But when he's in the company of white people, he adopts a persona, using a Hollywood-style black accent to make himself seem less threatening and less intelligent. This heartbreaking strategy for survival is central to Everett's story. It forces us, as readers, to confront uncomfortable truths about race, identity, and societal expectations, truths that, sadly, still resonate today. Why I loved this book so much. Everett's brilliance lies in how he takes Jim, a character often overshadowed in Twain's original, and gives him a voice, a name, and a story of his own. By renaming him James, Everett signals from the start that this is a deeper, more intimate exploration of a man who was once just a supporting character. James is no longer a symbol or a plot device. He's a fully formed person navigating a world that denies his humanity. His inner monologues are incredibly moving and provide a perspective that was missing from Twain's narrative. And yet, Everett doesn't diminish Huck. If anything, Huck becomes even more nuanced in this retelling. Their relationship is layered, challenging, and utterly compelling, a fresh take on a timeless classic. This book also taps into the growing trend of revisiting classics through the eyes of marginalized characters. But where some reimaginings feel like surface-level updates, James is different. It doesn't just add to the conversation, it transforms it. Everett asks profound questions about freedom, dignity, and the cost of staying true to oneself in a society built on inequality. For example, one of the most striking parts of the book is how James balances his desire for true freedom with the crushing reality of what he stands to lose by pursuing it. It's a high-stakes story, made even more poignant because Everett writes with such empathy and insight. Final thoughts. I can't recommend James enough. It's the kind of book that sticks with you, challenging you to rethink not just the original novel, but also how we tell stories about race and history. If you're a fan of classic reimaginings, powerful character-driven stories, or just exceptional writing, this is a must-read. So, grab your copy of James, I've linked it below, and prepare to be blown away. Trust me, this is a story you don't want to miss. That's all from me. Stay tuned for the rest of the team's picks for Book of the Year. There are some incredible reads ahead.
Hi everyone, Claire here with my Book of the Year pick for 2024. If you're a fan of the Thursday Murder Club, get ready, because Richard Osman has done it again. He's launched a brand new series with We Solve Murders, and let me tell you, it's everything we love about Osman's work. Sharp wit, clever plotting, and characters you'll instantly fall in love with. Meet the new team. At the heart of this story is Steve Wheeler, a retired police officer living in the charming English village of Axley. Steve's life is quiet and steady. He's got his private investigation business, mostly finding lost dogs or misplaced keys, and his daily chats with his late wife, Debbie, on a bench dedicated to her memory. Add in a competitive streak for his weekly pub quiz, and Steve seems perfectly content. But then his daughter-in-law, Amy, shows up with a problem. A big one. Amy is a bodyguard for the world-famous author Rosie D'Antonio, who's hiding out on her private island off the coast of South Carolina. Someone wants Rosie dead, and now Amy's life is in danger too. To make things worse, the case is linked to a series of murders involving internet influencers and a mysterious figure named Francois Loubet. With Amy's boss missing and evidence pointing in her direction, she needs Steve's help fast. A reluctant hero on a wild ride, Steve is torn. He's not exactly a fan of international travel, and he's got a pub quiz to win. But when Amy's life is on the line, there's no question. He's on the next plane to America. From the moment Steve arrives, it's clear this isn't going to be your typical case. There's already been an attempt on Rosie's life, and the trio, Steve, Amy, and Rosie, quickly realize they're being hunted by a hitman. What follows is a whirlwind adventure across the globe. They jet off to St. Lucia, then to Ireland, piecing together clues and dodging danger at every turn. Why I love this book. What makes We Solve Murders so special is how Osman balances humor, heart, and high-stakes mystery. Steve's dry wit and reluctance to leave his cozy English village add a wonderfully human touch to this international adventure. Amy is fierce and resourceful, while Rosie, a fabulously eccentric author, brings a playful energy that keeps you smiling even as the tension ramps up. The dynamic between the three characters is pure magic. They may be an unlikely team, but together, they're unstoppable. And while the mystery itself is packed with twists and turns, the real joy comes from watching these characters grow, bond, and outsmart their enemies. A new favorite series, Richard Osman has struck gold with this new series. It's fresh, funny, and utterly addictive. While I'm still hoping we'll see more of Elizabeth, Joyce, Ron, and Ibrahim from the Thursday Murder Club, I can't wait to see what's next for Steve, Amy, and Rosie. So if you're looking for a thrilling, laugh-out-loud mystery with heart, grab a copy of We Solve Murders. I've linked it below for you. Trust me, you'll be hooked from the first page. That's all from me. Stay tuned for more Book of the Year picks from the SmartBookWorms Deep Dive team. Up next is Chris Stouffer, our esteemed leader.
Hello, book lovers. Chris Stouffer here with my pick for the year, and if you're a Stephen King fan, you're in for a treat. His latest collection, You Like It Darker, is King at his most sinister, delivering chilling tales that stay with you long after you've turned the last page. On the back cover, King himself teases, "You like it darker." Fine. So do I. And boy, does he deliver. While there are some supernatural touches, the real terror lies in the human monsters lurking in plain sight. Let me highlight a few standout stories from this devilishly good collection. Two talented bastards, this tale starts innocently enough, with a freelance writer interviewing main author Laird Carmody about his success and his partnership with best friend Butch Laverdier. But what seems like a simple human interest piece takes a dark turn when Laird's son, Mark, uncovers the chilling secret behind their fame. This one will make you think twice about the price of success. The fifth step, a quiet day on a Central Park bench, turns into something unforgettable. Harold Jameson is approached by a stranger named Jack, who starts talking about a mysterious program he's part of. Everything seems normal until Jack reveals the horrifying truth behind the fifth step. It's a masterclass in suspense and psychological terror. Danny Coughlin's Bad Dream, this one's my personal favorite. Danny, a school custodian, dreams of a buried murder victim, and when he follows his dream to the crime scene, he finds her body. What unfolds is a tense investigation as Danny becomes both the key witness and a suspect. The story is gripping, with shades of Les Miserables as investigator Frank Jalbert stops at nothing to pin the crime on Danny: rattlesnakes. Longtime King fans will love this one, a sequel to Cujo. Set during the COVID pandemic, we catch up with Vic Trenton decades after the tragic death of his son Tad. Grieving and isolated, Vic encounters a haunted neighbor and inherits a stroller tied to two vengeful spirits. The blend of grief and supernatural horror is unforgettable, making this story a standout. Why this collection stands out? What makes you like it? Darker So Compelling is how it balances the supernatural with the deeply human. The monsters here aren't always from another realm, they're within us, and that's what makes these stories so haunting. For King's constant readers, there are plenty of Easter eggs tying these tales to his larger universe, and for those new to his work, this collection is an excellent entry point into the mind of one of the greatest storytellers of our time. If you're ready for chills, thrills, and stories that explore the darkest corners of humanity, you like it. Darker is a must-read. Check the link below to grab your copy. That's it from me. Stay tuned for more Book of the Year picks from our team. Up next is Martina with her favorite Book of the Year.
Hello, Bookworms. It's Martina here, and today I'm talking about Ruth Ware's One Perfect Couple. If you love psychological thrillers and survival stories with a twist, this one's for you. Reality TV has become a cultural obsession, and Ware uses that to her advantage, crafting a story where entertainment meets deadly stakes. Imagine Survivor meets And Then There Were None, with a dash of conspiracy and a storm no one sees coming. The set-up struggling actor Nico convinces his girlfriend Lila, a successful virologist, to join him on a new reality show called One Perfect Couple. The premise? Couples compete on a remote island in the Indian Ocean to prove they're the strongest pair, emotionally, physically, and strategically. The prize? A life-changing cash reward. But from the moment they arrive, it's clear this isn't your typical show. The first twist? Couples don't have to stay together. The second? Nature, and maybe something more sinister, is out to get them. What happens next? Lila and Nico meet their competitors, the confident Connor and Zana, the fiery Bayer and Angel, and more. When Nico is humiliated and eliminated after the first challenge, he's sent off with the production crew. That's when things get real. A typhoon barrels toward the island, cutting off all communication. The remaining contestants quickly realize they're on their own. Supplies dwindle, alliances form and break, and rumors start swirling. Is this even a real show? Or are they just pawns in a much bigger, deadlier game? While you'll love it, Ruth Ware is a master at building tension, and this story grabs you from the first page. The storm is relentless, the isolation is palpable, and the twists will leave you questioning everything. Are the contestants victims of circumstance, or something much darker? Fans of And Then There Were None will love the nods to Agatha Christie, while Ware's modern storytelling keeps it fresh. This is reality TV turned on its head, with cunning characters, dangerous secrets, and the ultimate question: who will survive to claim the prize? If you're in the mood for a thriller that's part mystery, part survival story, and all heart-pounding suspense, pick up One Perfect Couple. Check the link below to grab your copy. That's it for me today. Stay tuned for more exciting picks from our bookish team. Up next is Megan and her Book of the Year.
Hi, everyone. It's Megan here, and today I'm delving into By Any Other Name, Jodi Picoult's bold exploration of identity, creativity, and the untold stories behind one of the greatest literary names in history, William Shakespeare. The premise: this novel imagines a hidden truth. What if Shakespeare's iconic works weren't solely his? What if a woman, Emilia Bassano, an extraordinary real-life figure, was the hidden author behind the plays? Picoult weaves Emilia's historical struggles with the modern-day journey of her fictional descendant, Melina Green, a playwright fighting for recognition in a world still hesitant to credit women for their genius. Two women, two stories. The narrative alternates between Emilia's life in the 16th century, where she navigates court intrigue, forced relationships, and the suppression of her talents, and Melina's present-day efforts to give Emilia her long-overdue credit. Both women's journeys reflect a timeless truth: women often have to hide behind male pseudonyms to have their voices heard. Themes that resonate: Picoult masterfully tackles questions that are still relevant today. Who owns art? Is it enough to put beauty into the world, or must the artist always be recognized? The power of a woman's voice. From Emilia's hidden authorship to Melina's struggle to assert her identity, this novel shows how women's voices continue to challenge and inspire. Parallels across time. Picoult connects Emilia's historical challenges to contemporary issues, from artistic plagiarism to societal resistance against strong, outspoken women. Why this book stands out: the book's structure is a triumph, seamlessly weaving past, present, and the script of Melina's play about Emilia. Each layer enriches the other, creating a narrative that feels both timeless and immediate.
Readers will be drawn to Emilia's resilience and Melina's determination, both fighting for the respect they deserve. And for Shakespeare fans, the novel is a treasure trove of literary references, reimagining how his iconic works could reflect the life of a woman denied her place in history. A stunning finale. The ending of By Any Other Name is everything you'd hope for: heartbreaking, hopeful, and utterly unforgettable. It's a poignant reminder of how far we've come and how far we still have to go in ensuring that every creator receives their due credit. If you love historical fiction with contemporary relevance, this book is for you. Grab your copy through the link below and let me know your thoughts, because this one deserves to be talked about. That's it for me today. Nathan's up next with our final book of the year.
Hey everyone, it's Nathan again, and I'm diving into Karin Slaughter's latest Will Trent novel, This Is Why We Lied. If you've been following the Will Trent series, or you're a fan of the ABC adaptation, you know you're in for a rollercoaster ride of suspense, twists, and unforgettable characters. The setup: Will Trent and Sarah Linton are fresh off their wedding and set out for a secluded honeymoon at McAlpine Lodge, a picturesque retreat in the woods. But this idyllic getaway takes a sinister turn when a chilling scream leads them to Mercy McAlpine, the lodge manager, who has been brutally attacked. Mercy's final words hint at buried secrets, and her tragic death pulls Will and Sarah into a murder investigation that will test them in ways they couldn't have anticipated. Why it works: Slaughter masterfully blends a locked-room mystery vibe with her trademark grit and emotional depth. The lodge and its surroundings become a character in themselves, with the included map adding a touch of interactive intrigue for readers. As Will and Sarah dig into the lives of the lodge's residents, including the enigmatic McAlpine family and other guests, they uncover a tangled web of lies, betrayal, and fractured relationships. Time and deception: the narrative structure is a standout feature, moving back in time to reveal the events leading up to Mercy's murder while keeping you guessing until the very end. The title's double meaning is brilliant. Sarah and Will's undercover identities mirror the deceptive layers they must unravel in the investigation. Every clue peels back another layer, exposing more secrets and keeping you hooked. Will Trent shines. As always, Will is an unforgettable protagonist, quirky, relentless, and deeply human. His dynamic with Sarah brings a touch of warmth and humor, even as they navigate life and death stakes. For fans of the ABC series, it's hard not to picture Ramon Rodriguez in the role, even if the book's version of Will looks a bit different. The verdict: Slaughter's writing is a masterclass in pacing and tension. Every page is packed with twists, and her intricate plotting ensures there's never a dull moment. I couldn't turn the pages fast enough, and I know you won't be able to either. This Is Why We Lied is an absolute must-read for fans of crime fiction and psychological thrillers. Grab your copy today through the link below and tell me, did you figure out who done it before the end? Closing wrap-up. And that wraps up this week's picks. We hope you've enjoyed this journey through some incredible books. Whether you're in the mood for an unforgettable thriller, a historical mystery, or a powerful emotional story, we've got something for everyone. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest reviews and discussions. And of course, drop a comment below to let us know which book you're most excited to dive into. And until next time on Deep Dive with Smart Bookworms, keep reading, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next one.